All right. It's been a while, but we're on episode 108 of the Beer and Bullshit Show.
Yeah.
Woo!
All righty. I'm your host, Chris Bennett, and it's been since a week before my birthday since we've had a show. Part of that's my fault. Um, it's that time of year where we do audits. We're still doing audits, but I figure since they didn't call us today, that I was like, fuck it, I'm doing a show. So my stores are mostly clean. So anyway, Sugar Shane, what you sipping on, bro?
I got a Sam Adams Oktoberfest to start out with. I'm about finished up, and then I'm going to be quickly moving on to this nice Telluride beer here, which is the Russell Kelly Pale Ale. If you don't know about Russell Kelly, well, you probably don't know about Telluride either, but it's a good beer. And I already cracked one earlier, so sorry to spoil the fun, but it's delicious.
Okay. Let's see here. Amy.
I'm just starting. I haven't sipped this yet. See if I can. It's a Hoppin' Frog 2018 Sipping Out of Sight Chocolate Cherry Martini Imperial Stout made with chocolate plus cherry and vanilla flavors. It's 13.2 and it is where's this? Oh yeah, this brew is out of Ohio. There we go. But that's a pretty cool friggin' frog. And
Wow.
I've had some of the beers from them before, and it's pretty gnarly. But it smells like a cherry cordial.
Okay.
Mm.
All right.
Well,
well,
you'll have to show us
God,
that.
it's awesome.
You'll have to show us that label again. That looks really cool.
Wow. Yeah.
It's
That's
really
like
cool.
Amazing color.
Cool.
Oh, goodness.
It tastes awesome. My boyfriend bought this for me when he was up in Pennsylvania this past weekend, and oh my god, it's retarded. I mean, it's fucking good. Excuse my language. I'm sorry.
Well, on this end, I've got some Sam Adams that I forgot to take out of the fridge. I'll go grab one after I finish this beer. But Oktoberfest. But I've got one that's very dear to Shane's heart. The Modus Operandi.
Which Sam Adams are you drinking? I'm sorry, I had a child.
I said I'm going to be drinking one later, but I cracked this one open for Shane.
Oh.
Modus operandi.
The Modus Operandi.
It's so good for you.
It's good for you. It's good for you. Oh yeah, it's good for you.
Oh, I want to show you guys this too. I love Chris. I know you saw some of my my boyfriend's little puppet shows that he does if he gets a little bit of beer in him. And I'm sure that this one. I'm on my iPad. Look at the little beer cap. Isn't it cute?
Oh, dude, that is super cool.
Uh-huh.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
It's not as cool as they've got. I remember he had the frog and the catfish, going at each other one night. I don't know. He's funny when he gets drunk. So sauce him up, make him entertain me. How's your beer, Mr. Shane? You're getting ready to head on to your next one?
Oh, this is I think I'll try this one next. This is the First Cast IPA. It's got a little dude fishing on it. See the guy fly fishing?
I like it.
It's by Elevation Beer Company, and the lighting is really dark in here. So some of this is like not Poncha Springs, Colorado. This is from Poncha Springs, so that's right up by my place, up in the mountains. So, yeah, it's pretty small batch stuff, I would guess, if it's from Poncha Springs. But I'll give it a taste because Jim Babb isn't here to make comments about me not using a glass for this. But I'll taste it.
Oh no, you're drinking out of a can. Shame.
We all are. We all are. Oh well. Oh well.
Okay.
God.
Okay. Yeah. Haters.
We're survival. We're survivalists. We're survivalists. We'll drink it out of the can.
Oh my
You know
god.
what?
That's right, out of the can. Straight out of the can.
At least I had the decency to bring a beer. Okay. All right.
This is the beer bullshit show, and you always bring your bullshit. So I mean, you know,
higher and higher, dude. Just like it says on this beer, go higher and higher. But it's pretty good. It's nice.
You fucking crack me up, man. I swear to God, you do. If I'm ever out that way, I'm gonna come visit you. I'm serious.
Awesome.
I'm just gonna sit there and point and laugh at you.
Okay. We can make a lot of trouble. Like, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I told the old lady that if we ever come back out to Colorado, that I'm gonna have to bring a small trailer with me because I'm gonna have to haul a whole bunch of beer back.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you'll have to rent a U-Haul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to Lake Powell last year, and it was a 10-day trip, and I took 12 packs of beer for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all Colorado beers. And, you know, I or maybe it was a 7-day trip, but I took 7 or something. But I was a little ashamed and disappointed with myself for only taking that much. It was, you know, to the lake for that many days.
You had 10, 12 packs or 10 cases?
I had just one for every day. So I think I had like 7 or 8, 12 packs for myself.
12, depending on what you're drinking, and if you're at the lake, a 12-pack doesn't go very far per day.
Yeah, mostly just IPAs, you know, and we're cliff jumping, so, you know, you're going to drink at least 3 during that activity.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, you know, because you want to make sure you're level when you land on the water. Like this.
Yes.
When you're jumping 60 feet, you know.
Do you guys cliff jump into like quarries, or is it into the rivers, or what?
Yeah, sometimes
I've gone pretty far. Like I've done it off of some of the bridges, and I've jumped into some of the quarries before.
Typically into rivers.
I don't think I've gone quite 60 feet. 40 maybe. I mean, obviously I've jumped off of things higher than that, but not into an unknown body of water per se.
Well, I did.
I don't have good sense. Like apparently you don't either.
I did Poly Cliffs in Hawaii. That's on Oahu. And that was pretty awesome. So I think you could do about 35 or 25 there. So I did that. And then we had about 60 but there, and then like Colorado River, there's some really good spots. There's good spots, you know. Mostly rivers.
I really want to go to the Colorado River.
And the ocean. I'll do cliff jumping into the ocean.
I might have to strap on an extra set of balls.
Listen to Shane here. My name's Shane Cameron, world-class traveler.
Dude, I get like 9-year-old girls to jump into the ocean with me. Come on, like you guys can do it. You can do it. Okay.
I'm sure I could. I just never have.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if I go up there and like walk up there to do it, and there's somebody watching me, I'm going to do it because I'm that brand of stupid. So I mean, I just, I can't have anyone like watch me be like, hey, are you gonna jump off, this building or this cliff or out of this plane or whatever? It's like, yes, I am, and no, I'm not gonna look like a sissy doing it. I'm just gonna do it, whether I want to or not, and then I'm gonna have fun, and then I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, that's good. It's always just like no pressure, just for fun and stuff. But I think once you see other people do it and there's no pressure or whatever, then it's no big deal, and it's just awesome. It feels good. Especially when you plunge really far down into the water. I think you like feel all the bubbles around you, and it's kind of like drinking soda. The bubbles are from beer and soda make you feel so good. It's got like that effervescence.
So it's like being carbonated into like 30 foot of water.
Yeah. Stop.
I'll just say I'm picking up what you're laying down, hon.
So
Chris, are you gonna go jumping with us in Colorado? We'll just make like a multi-family trip of it.
Out to Colorado?
Yes. I'll bring Rick and the kids.
I'll bring the wife and the son.
Yep. And we'll just go out there and just jump off of random things, and as adults we'll get drunk and give the kids our phones, so if they need to call 911 because one of our dumbasses killed ourselves. This beer is really strong though. It's good. Good God, it's sweet. The more I'm getting into it, the more I'm pulling out of it.
Well, that's usually how it goes. I mean, as it warms up,
you
pull more out of it.
I know.
So.
Totally digging the little frog guy though. Little frog.
So that whole. I think I posted something, or someone posted on the Beer and Bullshit Show page. That 77 can Natty Light.
Yeah. Do you guys have those in?
No, but it's supposed to be a real thing. It's actually a real thing. So
I kind of figured it was.
It's
to sell like their 77th anniversary or something.
Yeah, it's to celebrate when they were made in it was made in 19. They started in 1977.
Okay.
So that's the reason why they did that. It's supposed to be a thing, but I don't distribute it, but the other guys do. So I don't know if they're gonna have it out here, or is it just gonna be in the bigger areas or what? But it'd be interesting to see.
If I see one, if I find one, I will bring it back to the house and I will challenge Rick to drink the entire 77 in a weekend.
Ew.
Down in College Park, they're selling them.
Huh?
That's only down in College Park that they're selling them.
They're selling it?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Rick knows where they're selling it.
Uh-oh.
Because Natty Light. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I've
drank
plenty of time in my life.
I wonder how expensive that would be, because I know a 15-pack of Natty around here is $6.
Yeah, it's gonna be cheap as shit. And when you consider the amount of piss beer you're getting. But,
so that would be like, it'd be like 15 times. It'd be 15 times 5. That's 75, right? No, 65, right? No, 75 right there. And 5 times 6 is 30. I'm thinking that's going to be around $34 $34 for a 77 pack.
Oh my God, $35 for a 77 pack. Spank my ass and call me Susan. We can spend. Well, you already know, Chris and Shane. I know you know too. We can spend that on less than a 6-pack of them. So let's make a party of it, boys. Let's make a party of it.
Maybe we should do like a weekend show or Saturday show or something like that.
We got our 77 packs.
77 packs.
And we're gonna sit here and we're gonna get drunk. Well, no, we're just gonna pee a lot.
Be like it's the 77 pack Daddy Light-a-thon or something like that.
Yeah. See who can make it the longest. Like start at say 6 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, or well, a little bit later for us with kids, but on a Friday afternoon, start off and just whoever can make it the longest, go into Saturday morning. One of us will still be awake at 5 o'clock in the morning. Somebody else will be falling over on the couch, half passed out. That would actually be fun.
And the rules would be that you can invite one other person to drink it with you.
Oh. Well, maybe I would get PBR and invite Scott.
No, it's got to be the Natty Lights. But, hi, Scott. How are you?
Mr. Scott!
Join us.
What's up?
What's up?
How's everybody doing this evening?
No, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. What you sipping on?
Well, I haven't had actually. I haven't been drinking very often lately. It's pretty much taken a back seat. Yeah, it's taken a back seat for a little while. This evening I'm having a Boston Lager.
Okay.
I could have never guessed.
Yeah, right.
Never would have guessed.
The Sam Adams guy, not drinking Sam Adams.
I'm having a Sam Adams tonight too.
I did, however, pick up Founders Curmudgeon's Better Half.
I just had one of those for breakfast last weekend. I sent it to Chris when I did too.
I picked up.
I think I put it in the beer and bullshit page. I was trying to check it in before noon, and I got it just after 12 o'clock. But I was really trying.
I picked up Founders 2 weeks ago. I picked up Founders Trigo or something like that. It's a hoppy wheat beer.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
I've only found like 2 or 3 types of Founders, and it's always in either a straight pack or a mixed pack. But they do the 15 pack, which is kind of cool. And I like that. I like the 15 pack. I've enjoyed the 3 or 4 different beers that I've tried from them. They've been exquisite.
I don't know. I'm a big fan of Founders. It's like I'm a big fan of Avery. Yes. I think we still have a couple of those in the refrigerator, actually. But have you had it yet, Scott?
No, I just picked up the Bomber. I know it's available in 4-packs as well. Yep.
We got it in the 4-pack. It's really, really good.
I've had the original Curmudgeon. I love Curmudgeon.
Then you'll eat that up like a football bat. It's good.
Nice.
Want to try it? Where do I find this stuff? I forgot where it's from.
From
Founders is Michigan, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if it's.
So I found it in Washington and Oregon, I think. And
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Well, Shane, you should be able to just go to your the big liquor stores and find it.
It's pretty rare.
What about Argonauts?
Founders has national distribution.
No.
So I mean, you shouldn't have.
You can't find it at Argonaut.
I don't know. It's a little hard to find.
Isn't there still big liquor store right in Wheat Ridge, up off of 32nd.
Yeah, Applejack.
Applejack. Right.
Yeah.
You
We
should be
got
able to
Dave.
find it there.
We got Dave Co. Total
Right.
Beverage,
Total Beverage.
Applejack,
You should be able,
Argonaut.
you should be able to find it at like Applejack or Total Beverage or Argonauts.
Maybe I'll do a special order with liquor in the front, poker in the rear. That's my favorite one.
You're so cliche.
Shade.
But although, I mean, if you haven't had it yet, definitely get a hold of the breakfast stout.
He's so proud of it. He's
Yeah,
so
I had that.
Oh,
Shane
I want to
is
try
so
the
proud of
breakfast
himself.
stout. It's time to move on, Amy. It's breakfast stout time, okay?
No, the breakfast stout is awesome, and I have had the breakfast stout for breakfast as well.
Yes,
It
yes,
is
I have too.
fabulous. But I will tell you that it. I don't know, Scott, if it was in Ohio. They didn't have a problem with it in Virginia, but there were a couple states where they actually banned the sale of it because of the label.
Texas.
Mississippi.
Hey, Amy.
Yes, sir.
Amy.
Yes. Yes, Christopher. I was here.
It's pumpkin spice latte. Oh, frappuccino.
Is that what y'all are drinking? Don't you even come at me with my pumpkin spice. You know my white girl ass to be going all crazy.
She's turning that way.
No.
Last night when I was at the bar,
basic white girls.
I would say tell the wifey she's white. She can't help it. It's like this. It's like
she can help it.
Calling. You can't.
She can help it.
No, you can't help it.
Yes, you can.
It's white girl crack.
You could lay off that crack.
You can't put it down.
when I was at the bar last night, I ended up, it's the first time I've seen it on draft, so I went ahead and got it. Alaskan's Imperial Pumpkin Porter.
How was it?
Amazing. It was amazing.
Amazing.
More pumpkin than anything.
Okay, that sounds cool.
Which brewery was it?
It was the Alaskan Pumpkin Porter, Imperial Pumpkin Porter.
Huh.
Was
Sounds
it spice
nice.
heavy? Was it spice heavy or was it?
No, it was very pumpkin forward.
Okay. Cool.
Fruity.
I like those. I don't like the ones that are like doused in like spices. I like the
it
real
wasn't a spice
pumpkin
bomb.
forward ones. Yes.
I like
Why don't
my
they
pumpkin
just-
spice, by golly.
Why don't they just call them pumpkin pie beers?
There's a lot of them that they do. They call them
Yeah.
pumpkin
Yeah.
pie beers.
Good. Okay.
It still is confusing because a lot of them that are like very spice forward or spice heavy, they still consider just pumpkin beers. A lot of them I've noticed recently are using yams instead of actual pumpkins.
Right.
That's what I was gonna say. I know I've had a couple sweet potato beers, and
Yep.
Or yam beers.
Yep.
I realize yams and sweet potatoes are two completely different vegetables, but at the same time, there's a lot of similarities in them, and they use the same spices. But I've had some that are spiced down that are very, very good.
Yep.
But I still like my super, like I said, my super white girl pumpkin spice crap too. So.
And surprisingly enough, the pumpkin itself, if you actually get a pumpkin beer, it's still considered a fruit beer.
Fruit.
Well,
Yeah.
pumpkin is a fruit, and
Yeah.
It is.
yams and sweet potatoes are vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
Does it
but
still?
they taste
is
the
this-
same. I think.
Yep.
Does
and
it?
I
Does it?
believe- I'd have to go back and look, but I think I had something. Either that or I dreamed it, and if I did dream it, we still might have a beating heart because somebody should make it. A beer with butternut squash. Warm my soul.
I have
think
not
I've
yet
had something
found
with it
one.
before, but
I haven't found one
oh my
yet,
God,
but it would
I would die.
be interesting.
If they did it right, like everything I have in my head, a butternut squash beer, please give it to me.
I'm a
I
little
will- I will pray to
disappointed.
the vegetable gods.
I would enjoy that too, and I wish somebody would do that well and do it. Just
Yeah,
do it, you know.
and if you're gonna
Yeah.
do it right. Don't go fucking up
Some
my squash beers.
How about a spaghetti squash beer that's vegan?
Well, I mean, how would it not be vegan? It's
If you
a
don't use
vegetable.
bacon, if you don't use bacon, because I like bacon
Well,
on my
just throw some
spaghetti
bacon
squash.
in there.
All right, thank you. That's
Okay,
better.
bacon and spaghetti squash
That's
beer.
better.
All right, I hope the beer industry is watching. We're coming up with some mean ass ideas right now. So I don't know.
Well, we should welcome our viewer.
Do we
Right.
actually have one?
No, we don't actually.
No. Okay. We'll welcome Casper, the friendly ghost.
No, we have the frog. There's your viewer.
It just means all of your significant others don't give a No, I'm just kidding.
I think Shane has had one too many already.
At least I'm single.
Because Rick's sitting here across the living room from me on the computer, while I'm here on the iPad. So he can't hear you guys, but he can hear me. So he pretty much knows half of what's coming out of you guys' mouth by what I'm saying. So we don't really have a viewer, but we have a listener. So it is what it is. And he doesn't really seem very entertained by us either. Sadly.
That's cool because South Park is having a marathon on Comedy Central right now, so I'm pretty sure that that's going on, and that's pretty dope. Whenever there's a South Park marathon, like, yeah, life is good.
We're kind of suffering through things on the news too. There's been a lot of stuff going on lately that bothers. Well, I'm sure it bothers all of us, but
I think I get all my updates from memes. Like all my.
Hey,
memes
good matter too, man. Memes are important.
Yeah, I don't see anything on TV other than South Park about current events.
All right, if you guys see me with my fingers all over the place, it's because, like I said, I'm stacked up on books on my iPad because for some reason I can't get my laptop to connect to Google Hangouts. So
wow.
I'm trying to look at you when you talk. So when I'm poking, I'm going from person to person so I can watch you when you speak. If not, I have to sit here and look at my ugly mug, which I don't really,
Hey, Amy.
Whatever, Amy. I'm poking, ugly mug, whatever. Rick loves it.
I think.
I
think all you have to do.
I'm just gonna poke you in the nose again, just because I can.
Amy,
and then
what browser are you using on your? What browser are you trying to connect to it on your laptop?
I normally use Firefox, but I connect to it on Google Chrome, and it's worked for me so many times when I've tried to use it before, but the last 2 times I've tried to use it, it's been a kind
Have you tried to update any of the permissions or any plugins that you might need?
Yeah, I tried that last time, but the thing is, I never use a laptop. Pretty much the only time I use that laptop is to pretty much talk to you guys, or burn DVDs and stuff like that, my iTunes.
I think it's really simple.
Firefox was getting rid of anything that uses a plugin.
Well, I don't use
Hangouts still use a plugin.
Well, I don't use Firefox to get onto Hangouts. I go into Google Chrome. You figure Google Hangouts, Google Chrome. The shit should work, right? But I don't know. I think it's just. It's an old computer.
Google's also getting rid of their Google Plus.
Yeah, well, Google could eat a bowl of dicks and fucking choke on the last one. Excuse me. But you know. And so I mean, I can do this with you guys on my phone. I can do it with you guys on my laptop. I can do it whatever. It's just, you know, I have to be a little bit more creative if I want to sit here and be hands free. I can do it with my phone. I'd be like, hey guys, and I could do the downward shot too, so I could look like extra thin and sexy. Set my face in, do the face, whole 9 yards. But I just sit here with you guys like this.
Yeah, I haven't actually tried it from my computer because my computer's like running for shit because I have a 64 gigabyte SD card that's holding my operating system, and the operating system wants to update, and it's totally full. So that's the reason why I'm using my phone.
I didn't even realize you were on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're kind of doing the same thing as me then. You got it propped up, you know? Like,
I got it in my hands.
I have mine leaning on a beer right now. So one
I
of
don't
these.
even know what to do with you, Shay.
Yeah, my phone's leaning on a beer, so that works really good. A beer is like a good prop for your phone. You know, it's just
I'm only
like,
like halfway through, barely half, well, a little more than halfway through the beer. I can already feel this.
What is yours?
Oh, good. Oh, yeah, you were here.
Yeah.
Rick was up in Pennsylvania this past weekend, and
Nice.
he picked this up for me. These beers, they're out of Ohio, so you should know what the hell it is since you're up there. The Hoppin' Frog.
Yep.
But it's the chocolate cherry martini imperial stout.
Yep.
It is retarded good.
Hoppin'
But I
Frog
know
really
how much
does good stuff. They're just
They're
rather expensive.
as
Yep.
shit.
And most of which they do is only available in bombers.
Yeah, I didn't.
November.
I didn't ask him because it's not. I mean, I don't care. You know, I mean, well,
Right.
it's not that I don't care. I mean, I appreciate everything that he brings to me. But I know when we were up there at the beer stores before, I think we spent anywhere between $15 and $20 for a single 12-ounce beer, which I know to Chris is going to be like, oh my God, how did you do that? But I mean, every now and then you just do, you know? But I mean, their beers, I mean, just for the small ones, I mean, yeah, they're freaking expensive. I mean, I could even, but I tell you what, it's damn good. So I mean, if you see this one, and it's not over $15, well,
They're starting a how do I want to say this? Hoppin' Frog. I talked to their brewers and their distribution. The place that I go to a lot. They were having like a tap takeover, and they were doing a bunch of stuff there.
oh my God, I can't even imagine how much your crap would be on draft.
Actually, it's not bad because the higher alcohol stuff is more expensive, but you only get like a 9-ounce glass full of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it kind of evens itself out, but you gotta watch the price point though, because these price points are killing me.
Yeah.
So I
This
was talking to him, and I said
13.2?
for something like that, that's like anywhere between anything I believe that's over 12%. I said you shouldn't be putting in a bomber because you're going to either need one person to drink it all. I said those are better for like a sharing party. So he said there's one out that's called Taurus. It's the sibling to Boris and Doris. It's called Taurus, and it's 13% alcohol. But they're going to barrel age it in bourbon barrels, and it's coming back out. And it's only going to be in 12-ounce bottles.
That's
and
always
they
good.
have one called.
Nice.
They have one that is. It's called the Gabble Slammer. It's a barrel aged. Kind of like and it's either like an old stock ale or it's like a wee heavy mix. It's coming out barrel aged, and it's only going to be in 12-ounce bottles too. I said, well, that's great because even if it's released in a 4-pack, I said it's still expensive as crap. So if you guys do, like, this place breaks them up, I said, so if I can get one bottle of it, that's great. Because right now, the place that I go to has a 4-pack of Dogfish Head 120-minute IPA for $35.95, and I won't buy it
4-pack?
for a 4-pack.
Wow.
Yep, plus tax, you're looking at almost $40.
Yeah. That's $10
no.
a beer.
No.
Chris,
No.
Chris,
No.
Chris,
I would try a single.
Chris, that's
No.
what they charge here.
No.
I would attempt a single, but I don't know if I would want to commit.
20-minute IPA. Wasn't it like
Because-
120-minute IPA is also raking in between 15 to 18% alcohol.
Right.
Yeah, if you're gonna
I was
commit,
gonna say. I mean, I think the last time we got it was $12.99 for a 12-ounce bottle.
yeah,
I've got it as cheap as like $8.
one, try it, but that kind of commitment, then you have to give it away maybe to somebody you don't like, and they drink it and they don't appreciate it, and then you've got two more.
That's one of those you just, if you're going to commit to at least a 12-ounce bottle, you're just going to either drink it, you're either going to sip and savor it, or you're going to slam it just to get messed up really quick.
Sounds good to me.
Because it's not as hoppy as you think it is. It's made with.
It's not. I don't think it's hoppy at all. I think once you hit that level of IBUs, and Rick kind of agrees with me on this, you get to the point where the IBUs get so high that it's so freaking boozy.
Well, you can't taste it at all anyway, because the human tongue can only taste 100 IBUs.
Yeah, it's way too much. But it's
120 IBUs, and it's
right.
It's also hopped for 120 minutes during its boil process, and they add in so much honey to it, where I find it rather sweet.
It is very sweet.
Very
sweet.
And,
I can only drink one at a time, and it's not because of the ABV, but it is because of the sweetness. The alcohol in it, I mean, obviously it's high, but the sweetness of it, I don't want more than one. But I do like it.
It's better on draft.
Yeah.
I've had it on draft.
You can get more of the hops out of the draft.
But I live pretty close.
Right. Right.
It doesn't obtain the sweetness in the draft. It seems like, so much nicer sometimes on draft. Like the Emperor was kind of okay on the
I heard it sucked on draft.
I've never had the Emperor.
It was good. I was right down the street from the brewery.
And the Emperor was okay. It was okay.
It was okay.
I found it more to be a gimmick beer for the aroma.
Okay, no, I take it back. We have had that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a joke. It's kind of like a joke. Yeah, it's like a joke, Scott. It's the Emperor is like
to
a joke
me. It was like
smells like somebody's smoking reefer.
Right.
It smells like
so.
shit.
I mean, therefore, yeah, right. I found it to be like a mediocre IPA, but overall, I mean, for the gimmick style, because of the fact that as soon as you pop open a beer, everybody starts looking at you.
Right.
So, I mean, that was like a cool factor, but at the same time, it just wasn't worth the price point.
No. Yeah, I think we're like
I paid like $14 for a 6-pack or something.
Yeah.
Same here. Yeah, same here. So, but it's
Scott,
it's funny.
Have you found out what's going to be in the winter packs this year?
I've heard rumors, but I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. All right.
I know that
we don't have the inside scoop on the Sam Adams.
No.
I would jump for joy if they brought back the chocolate cherry stout or Bach.
Oh God! No,
if they brought back the chocolate cherry Bach, that would be nice. But I know that they are bringing back their holiday porter.
Oh, the holiday porter.
Nice.
Yep.
The holiday porter was good.
Yeah, they're bringing it back.
I want that Anchor, the Christmas beer from Anchor again. I drank like 5 bottles of that last year, which you're supposed to let wait a year. But I
Well,
think I need
technically,
to.
they said you can actually drink it fresh, or you can actually wait up to 5 years.
Right.
Well, I think I might have stuck a few of those bottles back away at some friends' houses.
Every year has
So,
different
I'm not sure.
ingredients in it. You get a base beer from it, but every year has different ingredients in it.
Right.
The
Good.
ingredients also happen to be the tree that's on the bottle.
It's good. It's good. It is so good.
2014 was my favorite because they used a crap ton of spruce tips and actually made it taste like you were drinking a Christmas tree.
You know, Alaska kind of tried that, but it tastes more like toothpaste, I think.
Right. Right.
But I think Anchor has mastered that technique, and Alaska needs to bow down.
I mean, it's also Anchor. Anchor's been around since like the mid 70s.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've been doing that beer since I believe 78 or 79.
Yeah, they're one of the founders of the modern day craft beer.
Yep. Yep.
So they've been around for over 40 years.
You know, Scandinavia has some awesome craft beers. I got to have some freaking dope beers when I was flying to Iceland. And then in the Faroe Islands, I've had some sick fucking beers, dude. Some killer craft beers, and Denmark too. And when I was in Italy, they have a whole bomber shelf, like a whole bomber aisle. There's a whole aisle from the front of the back of the store. It's like 80 feet long, with just bombers on like 4 shelves, dude. Oh my god. It's like I had to try as many beers as possible.
We had one of our family members bring a couple beers back for us from Iceland, and I guess they must have brought us like the Budweiser of Iceland beers.
Yeah, dude.
But I mean, don't get me wrong, the bottles were wicked cool, and the beer wasn't bad, but it was very it was like a typical American Pilsner, I guess. It wasn't anything special, especially for the price point. And Shane, you know, if you've been to Iceland, it's expensive as shit.
It is.
No, it's not. It's not actually that expensive. I spent a lot more time in the Faroe Islands, which is quite a bit more expensive than Iceland. And Iceland is more comparable, I think, to England in a lot of ways on the cost. Of
Still
things.
too damn expensive for me.
So I was able to get stuff in Iceland for like half price of what I'm used to paying.
Shane. When in Italy, what's the going price for like just a regular beer?
In where?
In Italy.
In Italy? I think. Well, they mostly sell bombers, like in glass. You know, so it's gonna be like equivalent to about a 22, or maybe like closer to like a 26 or 28 ounce. For a good craft beer, like €2, maybe $3.50.
Okay.
And then for just like a regular cheap beer, like maybe €1.50, like €1.50. You know, so like $2.75 to $4.50 for a good beer, or for a cheap beer like $2.25 for a big cheap beer.
Oh,
you know?
basically almost like it is here then.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's
Italy's. It sounds like Italy's not a bad place to be.
Italy's like the Mexico prices of Europe, in my opinion. Italy is like so dirt cheap, you know. Like
Italy is.
Yeah.
Italy is Europe's Mexico.
Kind of like that.
Although I would still say I'm going, if I was over in Europe and I got to get beer, I'm going to Belgium.
Belgium. Well, yeah, and you know, you want to go to Belgium. That is the ideal thing, is to go to Belgium. To eat good sausage and drink good beer.
Well, yeah, it's really good, but Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, I found my old pen friend on Facebook, and we got to talking, and she's sending my wife a little something for Christmas. She's sending
Nice.
some Belgian chocolates.
Not
So,
Oh, nice.
so yeah, she used to do it every
Lucky
year.
her.
When we were pen friends, she used to send my mom a little box of Belgian chocolates every year. So
you
I
need to
was
get
so
a
happy.
friend from over in Belgium and have
Yeah,
them send you some
I need to
Westvleteren
make
beers.
friends over there. By golly.
I told her. She said I'd send you beer, but that would be a little expensive. And I was just like,
Oh, it is.
yeah. I was like, why don't you just send the wife some Belgian chocolate? She goes, oh, I could do that.
I
So
ended up paying I believe it was a 6-pack. I paid like $100.
yeah, yeah. That's the reason why I said
And
no. It's probably a little cheaper to do it this
Holy
way.
crap.
95% of it is shipping and handling.
Yep. Yep.
But it was worth it for those beers. Only because of
Well,
the
I'm
fact that
sure it is, but no.
yeah, right.
You know, the
It was
ideal thing is to go spend like 6 weeks over there, just
Yes.
drinking at least 3 or 4 different beers a day,
oh,
and
dude,
eating
forget that.
good
I'm
food.
drinking like 3 or 4 different beers an hour.
Well,
When I was
trying
out
to
there,
pretend to be conservative. I was pretending to be
I
conservative.
love the
there.
conservative values, but no.
Every now and again, Scott, words will come out of your mouth that make. I hear myself in your words, child. I hear it.
well, when I was out, when I went,
Bless
I
your heart.
actually
That's usually when I'm exaggerating.
in '97, I actually went out.
Probably.
In '97, I actually went out and saw my pen friend, and
Cool.
her dad, the house that they lived in, her dad built it himself because
Nice.
he's in construction, and
That's cool. Cool
near the
stuff.
kitchen, they had 3 huge storage areas. One for like canned goods, flour, whatever. Another one for other stuff, and the third one was like for juice, sodas, beer, and every night that I stayed with them, her dad would bring out 3 different types of Belgians.
Nice.
I'm
And
afraid that, guys.
and
I'm not
back
listening.
then, my palate wasn't. I was just like, But now
Right.
my palate's a lot more refined to where the ones that I went on, I probably would enjoy a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, the people tried to bring me beers in Italy, and I was like, "This is disgusting" because it was too light. They were like 4.5%, but I got
Yeah.
some
Oh,
good
yeah.
wines. Yeah, they brought me some really good sparkling wines because they have a lot of sparkling wines. And yeah, so I pounded like 3 bottles one day of their sparkling wine. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. It's insane. It was not labeled, it was just from their collection. The
Right.
person's the person's private family recipe from from the old country. This is amazing. The beers were good. The Italian craft beers, Scott, you would be really surprised to know that they are awesome. They're
Well,
excellent.
I've had a couple. I mean, I tend to like a lot of the foreign beers only because of the fact that they can do wonders because of the fact that it's low alcohol, but it's a ton of flavor. So that's what I really like about a lot of the foreign beers. What you need to really do is if you really want a prime example of what an IPA really is, see if you can find Samuel Smith's India Pale Ale.
I've had that.
Right.
Yeah, that's a
It's
perfect
awesome.
example of what an IPA is supposed to be.
Great beer.
Isn't when they make that, Scott, isn't that under the traditional
Yes,
Indian Pale Ales?
yes,
Isn't the traditional recipe of a Indian Pale Ale when they do that?
yes. It's actually the only place that actually does it right is when you're talking about like the Samuel Smith.
Right.
They actually get the same water, the same water source that they used from back when they originally made the first India Pale Ale. There's a
Right.
brewery that sits on the water source, and it's like a river, and they collect the river water because it's so harsh. It's so harsh with minerals that they packet tons of hops into it
Right.
because of the fact that it's so harsh and the high in the minerals in the water.
Right.
Um, but when you get it over here, it tastes like a generic IPA, but that's the original flavor of what the IPA was supposed to taste like.
Right. Right. That's where I was getting from.
Yeah.
The original,
Hmm.
IPAs that they brewed back in the 1600s.
Hmm.
So, because it had to survive that trip around the
Yep.
the, the Horn
Yep.
or around the Cape of Africa. So it was the only beer that survived that trip.
Yep.
So
It was traditionally supposed to taste like a kind of like an overly hopped ale, but at the
right,
same time, they were like they stuffed it half full of hops, then dumped over the ale over top of the hops, closed the cask, filled up the ship, and when by the time it reached India, it actually tastes kind of like a either like a old stock ale or an overly hop stock ale.
right,
All of this is the result of taxation, which is theft. Okay, because the Brits, if they were good capitalists, if they were allowed to be good capitalists, would have been
Allowed
brewing,
to
would have been brewing in India instead. But the crown made it possible for the IPA to happen because you needed fresh beer a long, long ways away. Because it had to be taxed. They wanted to tax it. Just saying.
Speaking of which, um, I see that I've overheard Virginia has a high chance of electing a libertarian to the Senate.
Ooh.
okay.
So does that?
To the state legislature.
We already have them
In
the state
Virginia
legislature.
for the
We already
actual
have them in
Senate.
the
Yes,
state. No.
For the state?
No. Not
For
a
the
snowball's chance in hell.
for the
It's
actual
right.
federal.
For
No,
United
not a,
States.
no.
Yeah.
Right now, it's.
Senate.
Are you sure Are you sure it's not New
It's
Mexico
not-
you're talking about?
Yeah.
No.
You might be. Now I can see Gary getting in New Mexico, and for what it's worth,
His name is Matt Waters.
whatever.
Okay,
No.
Matt Waters. All right.
It's
Okay.
Stewart and Kane in Virginia, and
I'm talking about federal level.
that's what I'm talking about, federal level. It's,
Yeah, his name's Matt Waters.
No, not a snowball's chance in hell. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm still way too in touch with Virginia politics. It ain't gonna happen.
Just going Republican with Corey Stewart then?
I'll be honest with you. I think. All right, I worked with Corey. Corey worked with us on Ron Paul's campaigns since he was with us since 2007. I really, really, really like Corey. Honestly, if I was in Virginia, regardless of all the stupid shit he's done, and had I been in Virginia at the time, I'd have told him not to do some of the stupid shit he did because he fucked up a lot, I could have told him about some of these people that he associated with, and I'd have told him not to fucking do it. Not that he would have listened, but I mean, at least I could have told him, and I'd have felt better about it. But the thing is,
Right.
I actually know Corey as a person. Corey's a really good guy. And even though he's not from the South, you know, he's a good Southerner. And I know to like, you know, maybe you in Ohio or Shane in Colorado and, you know, Chris being, you know, up there in Illinois, it's hard to explain to people the way Southern culture is. We're kind of a special breed, and Southern people, we really like our Southern roots, and it's not about
Right.
being racist. It's not about being it's more about rebellion. I think we see it as, well, okay, I don't even think we see it as this. I mean, I know for a fact we see it as this. We see it as saying, you think you're going to tell us what to do, and we're going to throw the big-ass middle finger up at you. And
Of course.
that's the way that, I mean, that's just the Southern way. It's the way we are. So I really like Corey. I really wish he wouldn't have done some of the things that he'd done. I hope he can go up against Kane. His numbers aren't looking real good, but I mean, Trump's numbers weren't looking real good either. You know, I mean, I didn't expect for him to win against Hillary. So, I mean, there's always a chance, but I mean, I like Corey. I've always liked Corey. I'm always going to like Corey. But I'm not going to sit here and say that Corey hasn't done some things that Corey shouldn't have done. And I know on the national stage, that's not a popular opinion. But when it comes down deep to where my heart's at, you know, I'm not going to sit here and be a flaggot or anything like that, you know. Shane. Asshole.
You know, I'm being respectful.
But at the same time,
let me tell you, I'm being respectful
I'm still
of you
a good
guys
old
now.
Southern girl.
Yeah.
I'm still a good old Southern girl. I will always be a good old Southern girl, and I'll be that way until the day I die. And I think Corey, even though he's from Minnesota, I think Corey's got that little Southern bit in his heart, you know. And I'm gonna be with him. And I really wish I was down there because I would be working on his campaign for what it's worth. I like that guy.
That's really gay
I'm gonna tell you,
sounding.
Yeah, get your bowl of dick, Shane. I like Corey. Yeah, so
Oh, that's so cute, man. You guys would make such a nice. You could raise money together.
Here's your bowl of dicks. You can eat them. Lots of tiny penises for you to suck on.
Oh God.
Leave me alone about my Corey, okay? I like him, and I'm not ashamed of it. So. Yeah. At least I'm not out supporting Mark Rubio or some, you know.
Oh God.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
That's true. I mean, you got to give these younger guys a chance to really get discovered.
Corey's
well,
young.
I mean,
like 48.
You can't have a geriatric hill on Capitol Hill forever.
Shit.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
No, they want it to be, but I don't want it to be.
So when I take my headphones off,
it's the geriatrics club.
When I come back, I don't want to.
I know it is.
Okay?
You know what?
Talk to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She's like one of the oldest up there.
Yeah. I mean, if we had less people like Anthony Weiner, you know, up there, that would be cool. You know.
Yeah, I mean, that was a bad thing at a bad time, and he shouldn't have done it. But yet he was like, I mean, with a name like Anthony Weiner, and you got to show your wiener. So I mean, I kind of applauded him for it. I was like, dude, with that name and you get in trouble for that is awesome.
My name is Wiener. I got to show my wiener.
Yeah, and he's walking around like, actually, my name is
Wiener's Wiener.
Weiner.
Yeah, right.
It's
right.
actually Weiner. Yeah.
So, I mean, overall, I mean, even though that he got in trouble and his, girlfriend, wife, whatever the hell she is, but was working with Clinton and almost got in trouble for, scandals with Clinton. But it is what it is. And I mean, I just keep focusing back on him because of the fact that I'm like, dude, you had the story of the century.
Yeah.
I mean, your name is Wiener, and you get in trouble for flashing your wiener to other people.
All right, I'm glad we switched.
It's really just
Yes,
It's really disgusting. I'm sad.
I'll know that I get back on and we're talking about Wiener. And I don't know. And Anthony Weiner's just creepy.
Yeah, he is. But at the same time, that was freaking awesome. I mean, you get in trouble for the same.
He got
for your last name as well. I mean,
apparently Wiener had a big wiener too.
Well,
I saw like the pictures. And,
yeah.
Wiener's wiener was pretty impressive. I mean, I'll give him that.
The dude was endowed.
But
he's definitely
well
he's let me just say he's definitely
that's why he was proud of it, even though that he looked like he had a stalker face.
He's an Ashkenazi. Okay, he's totally an Ashkenazi. Okay.
Yeah, right. I mean, he should have knew better, dude. Just cut your head off.
But I mean, seriously, he was sending it to fucking 15-year-olds, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was sending it to 18-year-olds. Yeah.
So I mean, that's like some creepy pederast shit,
Yeah, and how, here you guys.
I mean,
let me tell you what I would do if
no wonder
I caught some 40-year-old man sending dick
you guys
pics
are making a joke out of it.
To my daughter.
Yeah.
I'd cut it off and I'd choke him with it. I'd have it mounted so it was nice and stiff. So here, wiener, here's your stiff wiener. I'm gonna choke you with it. No, stay away from my underage daughters with your giant wiener.
Right.
Anyway,
I gave him. Okay.
No. And
let me just.
me, I'd have just stabbed him with it with like a corkscrew.
That's kind of funny.
Here,
refresh your memory.
Here, wiener. This is what I have for you right here.
He got 21 months.
Little girls.
He got 21 months.
21 months, I don't think is enough for sending, it's the same way, I don't know if you guys are familiar, there's a really interesting character especially Scott, since you're kind of following a little bit of Virginia politics. There's a Democrat in Virginia. I've always liked him, mainly because he was a defense attorney, and, he represented a lot of my friends in their criminal trials and did really well. But anyways, he was in the General Assembly. When he was a lawyer, he used to get in fist fights in the courtroom. His name's Joe Morrissey. He's getting ready to run again. But do you guys know who he is?
I do.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, anyways, he impregnated his 17-year-old law clerk. No. She wasn't even a law clerk. I don't know what she is. She was. He impregnated his 17-year-old secretary when he's like 15. He's 50 years old. She's 17.
When he was married?
Huh? Do what now?
Was he married?
Was he married? I don't know. He wasn't. No, he wasn't married at the time. But anyways. You're talking about he's old enough to be your grandpa. But he married her and they had a kid together. And now he's getting ready to run for Richmond City Council. Richmond's a special place too. It's maybe not quite as special as Baltimore, but I mean,
Richmond's a special place too.
It's a clusterfuck, man. I tell you what.
Oh, God.
Foobar. That's all I gotta say. Foobar.
Oh yeah, Foobar.
Bless their heart.
Oh, speaking of which, this one goes to you. Because of the fact that I know you do still do like PBR from time to time.
I do indeed.
Okay,
Actually,
well,
no,
they
up
have
here I do Natty Bow, but same difference.
they've done 3 new ones. They've done the Easy, which is like a lighter version,
Ew.
and
Why?
they've done an NA version,
No.
which
They
is
should just
yeah,
stop.
right.
Not even. Why?
And then they've done an extra version, which goes up to 6.5.
I'd be down.
Yeah, I just got those in my beer inbox, and I was like, why am I getting this stuff? I said I'm not a regular drinker of like PBR and stuff, so I was like,
Well,
oh well,
perhaps
I
you
know who.
should be.
I was like, well, I can stop, toss this information to somebody who actually, partakes in it from time to time.
Honestly, I honestly haven't had a Pabst Blue Ribbon in probably 8 months or longer. I mean, it's been a while. Not because I don't want one, but it's because I'm up in Maryland, and in Maryland,
Right.
it's Natty Bow. So, and with Natty Bow, if I'm trying to drink cheap beer, but I mean, I haven't even had Natty Bow since the weather was really hot over the summer.
Right.
2-3 months, like when you're outside doing yard work and stuff like that, and you just need
Well, of
watered
course.
down beer. No, I'll always be a PBR fan, and it's the first beer I've ever drank.
It was kind of, they took me back on like a little bit of a history run throughout, what they're doing, and I didn't know it was like back in, was it 2014 or 2016, out at the Great American Beer Festival, they actually won gold for the American Light Lager or American Lager beer.
I mean, I can see that because it doesn't taste bad. I mean,
it doesn't taste bad as such a pathetic excuse.
I mean, it is what it is for the beer. I mean, knowing the fact that it was like sold off, it was like dying off, and then there was 2 guys that actually bought the recipe from somebody who bought it from the actual company. They brought it back. It became a cult following out there in Seattle. Seattle brought it back. Well, they actually had it out there. Somebody was contract brewing it out there.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. It never left Virginia. I'll tell you what.
Was it a Wisconsin?
I'm talking about the actual recipe from the actual brewing company.
All right, I'm just talking about the beer itself because I'm telling
you.
Didn't they go really big in Wisconsin though?
Well, it was really big there for a while out west because of the fact that it was considered to be one of those hipster beers when it got sold off from the actual company. Because Pabst actually went under there for a while. They actually sold the recipe to a contract brewer. And when they sold it to a contract brewer, they had it and they brought it back. It was gone for a little while in the north. I don't know what it was. It was gone for, I want to say like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 years at the most. And then there was 2 fans of the beer that bought the recipe off of whoever had it out west, and they brought it back to the actual Pabst company. And Pabst was like, hell yeah, we're gonna just rebrew this. But what's really nice about the Pabst company is there's a lot of old style beers that they're actually brewing under the Pabst label. What the heck was it? There was one that was really, really old, but it was a Christmas beer. One was an IPA, one was a regular lager, and then they had one that was actually a Christmas beer. But when the actual company, I can't remember the name of it, when the original company would brew this Christmas beer, they would actually only bottle it and give it to the people that worked at the brewery, or they would let it age for 20 years in the vats. And then they would bottle it as Christmas gifts and give it out to the people that brewed it the people at the company and their family. But that was
Wow.
once they got a hold of that recipe, they tried to match it. They couldn't come up with how to match it, so they got in contact with one of the actual brewers that was still alive, um, and he told them exactly how they brewed it, and they couldn't get the wood that they used for the actual vats because it was only in wooden vats that they let it ferment in, but they couldn't replicate the actual wood. So what they did was call around, and they found the closest thing of the same era, and they bought up one of the big wooden vats from the same era, and they said it wasn't exactly the same, but they had the guy come out and taste it, and he was like, dude, this is close enough.
Ah, okay.
So, I mean, a little bit of history throughout the Pabst Brewing Company is that they're starting to do a little bit more craft beers. Have you guys heard of the Old
I didn't know
Tankard
that.
Ale?
No, that sounds cool. I want to try it.
Old Tankard Ale
Yeah.
was delivered in, I think it was 16-ounce cans like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
And
I
it was
had
like
it.
an old,
I had it.
yeah,
I had
Yep.
it. Yes.
it wasn't a bad beer. I mean,
Well,
it
it
wasn't
wasn't.
fantastic, but it was pretty good.
Yeah. I remember getting it because we couldn't sell it. We couldn't sell it enough of
Yep.
it because
Yep.
we have PBR. We sell PBR. We couldn't get it sold fast enough, so we had to fire sell it to one of the liquor
Yep.
stores, and they had it at one of the liquor stores for like $3 for a four pack or something like
Yep.
that. And I
Yeah, it was
bought like
going dirt
I
cheap.
bought I bought I bought like three of them, and they weren't bad at all.
Yeah, for an old style beer, I was actually rather impressed by it.
Right. So
Then that kind of led, like I was talking about earlier, that's what led me into wanting to know more about the foreign beer expedition because of the fact that a lot of the beers overseas is just like not high in alcohol, but again, they're packed full of flavor. And they, especially in Germany or around Germany, they do them all by, purist laws. And when you can create such a fantastic beer and only use the main four ingredients, that shows me the exact art of the style of brewing beer.
All right, guys, excuse me for a moment. I'm going to go rinse out my glass, and then I'm going to open up a very large beer that I'm going to regret
Nice.
tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay, cool. That sounds like a expedition in itself.
Yes, it does. I'll be back.
I think
Speaking
it
of
was
which, I went ahead.
I think it was either
I dove into another one too. I'm like halfway through my second one. I went ahead and opened up an Oktoberfest.
We've all three had Oktoberfest tonight. That's cool. We're like beer triplets.
I think either Old Style it's either Old Style or PBR came out with the Oktoberfest beer this year.
I think it was Old Style.
Yeah. I was like even the has anybody had that the Budweiser and the Jim Beam barrels yet?
No, I haven't.
I have neither. But I know that
I was kind of thinking that it was going to be disgusting.
I don't know. I haven't had any, but I know that once it hit this market, it sold out like quick. Like they delivered like a pallet at my local beer store. It was gone by Monday.
Wow.
Holy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
Yeah, especially for like Budweiser.
Yeah. Well, it's Budweiser and Jim Beam barrels. So
Sounds
That
horrible.
has to be like a one-off. I mean, that
they're
would probably
trying
be
to-
the only other reason why I try it, because like the only other Budweiser beer that I've ever had besides actually like Budweiser, Bud Light, regretfully, I did the what was that? The Bud Black.
Oh,
Oh yes.
Yeah,
And then
Wasn't
and it was a Black Crown or whatever.
yeah, that's what it was.
And then
know-
Miller came out with something to compete with that.
Yeah, I was like, even when I did my review for the Bud Crown, I was like, dude, this is like a poor man's version of a Sam Adams.
Yeah, a lot of the macros are trying to do kind of take their macros and micro brew them, okay, and trying to get a little bit of the share that they're losing to craft beer.
Yep.
I think one of the advantages to that is it introduces people to a different beer, at least. And I know a lot of people that have started with like Blue Moon. A lot of people have started with like Blue Moon, and then or Shock Top, and then they're like, okay, maybe I'll try an IPA. Yeah.
Well, even if they try like a Shock Top or like even like your example for the Blue Moon, and I highly believe that's the reason why Sam Adams came out with their Cold Snap. Cold Snap was like an alternative to their Blue Moon. It was only a seasonal, where the traditional Blue Moon was out like year round. So it was like I think it kind of like goes back and forth with like the niches in seasonals and the niches in like the micro brews or the macro brews coming out with stuff like year round. It's like, okay, well, some of these like micro brew companies see how big the sales are, and they want to try to get some of those niches too. So they create like shanty beers, they create fruity seasonal beers, and it's just like that's small amounts of fruity beers. I say, but that's not traditionally what beer was supposed to be about. But now with the Americans, I mean, we have like revolutionized beer entirely to the point where now the foreigners want to come and do what we're doing.
Right. Yep.
That's interesting.
Because you think about it, for almost like 400 or 500 years, the ideal brewing companies were all foreigners, and the best beer that you could ever get was over in Europe. And now the best beer that you can ever get is over here in America.
It's revolutionary. That's a revolution.
Especially Revolution Brewing Company. They're really good.
Revolution. Where are they from?
Chicago.
We distribute them down here. That's correct.
Never seen it, dude. Why have you not told me about this before, my friend?
I probably have told you about this, but you weren't listening. Obviously, I've mentioned them at least 3 or 4 times on this show.
Oh, more than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God, guys, that Amy girl's back.
Especially like Shane. I mean, doing a lot of, if you like a lot of their IPAs, I mean, they got a hero series that is nothing but IPAs and different variants of IPAs. You would enjoy every single one of them.
Sounds like me, yeah. Definitely. I like it. You know, man, I got to try them.
I sent Jim Bab last year when we first got Revolution down here. I sent him the Mosaic one, I think it was, the regular anti-hero.
Yep.
And he loved them both. He loves the mosaics. That's the thing. You can get hooked on those mosaics.
Well, with the mosaic hop specifically, I mean, it's pungent and it's very like tropical fruit.
Yes.
So I mean, you could actually use the mosaic hop, just by itself, and you can get a really good flavorful beer out of it. So I mean,
right.
That's where Sam's, when they did their Latitude 48, they since recently stopped brewing it within the last couple of years, but the actual first version of the Latitude 48 was brewed with 5 different hops. So it was like a revolutionary hop beer for its time. And then they did a deconstructed pack in 2011. And what they did with that is that they did 1 Latitude 48, and then they gave you 2 of the single hop bottles. Well, I talked to them, and they came out with it in 2014. But when they came out with it in 2014, they redid the recipe, and they changed up one of the hop profiles, and they added in the mosaic, because the mosaic at the time was one of the newer hops that everybody was using.
Right.
I'm getting ready to crack into a new beer, guys.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
Everybody else still drinking the same thing?
No, actually, no. I'm drinking one of the last beers from my Pennsylvania trip. It's called Blood Money.
Ooh.
It's a nice blood orange IPA.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Well, I decided, since I missed you guys so much and I was feeling a little bit celebratory, I'd get into something a little bit older.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. What are we celebrating?
What you got? Oh, what year?
My 2015
Nice.
Stone Chai Spice Imperial Russian Stout.
Oh, the Chai Spice. Oh.
But from...
Nice. I'm going to tell you what, there's going to be some funk in the bottom of that bottle.
I'm going to tell you what, there's some heaven on top of it, though. By God.
I believe it.
That's
you know, Scott, you were talking about how the Americans are revolutionizing the beer and stuff like that.
Right.
I think the American micros have taken like styles and like intermixed the styles.
Oh yeah.
I want to import all of you into my living room right now to share this with me. This is a wonderful little slice of heaven.
So yeah, I think that, we're just coming up with new styles, new flavors and stuff like that. And I hope that people become more innovative in the way they brew beer and stuff like that.
Of course.
Because I think that's just gonna keep people's taste buds going. Does that make sense?
Well, of course. I mean, it's gonna keep their palate going, but it's also going to elevate their palate, especially if they can find something as close to what they're normally used to drinking. And that's why I don't really harp on Sam's too much. I mean, I can really harp on them and I can really bitch at them. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, you're still considered to be like the intro to craft beer. And it's just like, once you build up your palate to a certain extent, I mean, you're always going to look for something new, something more exciting, something more flavorful. And what that really does is that also changes your palate to like the junk food that you're used to eating. So, I mean, it also transitions over into better quality food, better flavored food, possibly even more healthier food for you as well.
It's very interesting. So,
yeah,
craft beer can just make you a better person all around, huh?
I concur with that.
Yeah, I think every time I go to the beer store, I think every time I go to the beer store, I don't look for what is popular at the time, even though I'm kind of addicted to the New England style IPAs right now. When I can find some, of course,
I still got 3
I'm
of
always
the
addicted to
Sam's an IPA.
I'm always addicted to IPAs. I mean, I love them. Which is contrary to some of the memes that are going out that say, IPAs for white guys. So
well,
I don't know if you've seen the
I
memes.
will say this. I mean, it has IPAs have been known to cause man boobs.
It's because the hops.
Oh well.
Yep.
But I mean,
I'm also
drinking IPAs is not going to give you man boobs. Being a bitch is going to give you man boobs.
The dad bod is hot right now. Okay, so
yes, it is. They said more women are out there for single men. They're not looking for the 6-packs. They're looking for the dad bod.
Yep. We're in good shape.
Here's the weird thing about like all these like little studies is guys talk about whatever women's physique is good at the time, be it big ass, big tits, small waist, curvy, whatever. I mean, everybody has their preference, but I mean,
of course,
when it comes down to it, I've seen my boyfriend with a 6-pack, and I've seen him with a little bit of a belly. The 6-pack in the belly doesn't make a difference to me. It's, oh my god, I'm gonna sound like an actual female.
This is gonna be weird.
Yeah, I know. It's like the fucking Twilight Zone. It's actually it's actually who they are. You know, I mean, like,
right.
It's not even the way they look necessarily in the face, but it's in the eyes, it's in the touch, it's in everything else. But it's not a 6-pack. It's not a dad belly. It's not a little bit of a pooch. It's not any of that. It's no.
Well, for the most part, I mean, like, what it comes down to is each to their own. But men, most men are
a beard is in style.
Kind of towards
it's
eyesight.
Not a matter of what's in style. It's a matter of what you like. And the thing is, when you like somebody, and they change, say you fall in love with. Say I fall in love with a guy, and he's got this perfectly shaved face and these chiseled cheeks, and then all of a sudden he grows a beard. Does that mean I'm not going to like him anymore?
Well, I don't know. I like that. I like that beard. That sounds good. But
and then am I not? I mean, yeah, it's fucking retarded. I hate that shit. It irritates the piss out of me.
Amy, are you gonna dress up for Halloween?
You bet your sweet ass I am.
What are you gonna dress up as?
As a woods witch.
What about you guys? You dressing up?
Where? Speaking of Halloween, where is that crap story that I heard this afternoon? It's either in West Virginia or Virginia. There was a town that sits there and says if you're over 12 years old, you can't go trick or treating.
Right. Scott, let me go ahead and get on this because I'm already on top of it.
I was gonna say that's why I called it a crap story to begin with.
It's Chesapeake and it's Norfolk, which are two of the Democratic towns. Virginia's a red state. We have right at the coast where it's completely Democratic, and then Northern Virginia and Charlottesville, which we all know that those 3 parts of the state are fucking retarded. So they said if you trick or treat and you're over 12 years old, then you can spend 6 months in jail.
Or up to a $1,200 fine. Yeah, but it also goes one further and states that if you're a parent and you hold a Halloween dress-up party, that you can go to jail for that as well.
Oh, that's harsh, dude.
Anyway, thing is, these kids, if they want,
we should all go there. We should all go there and go trick-or-treating.
I tell you what, I've given out candy all of my adult life. Obviously, I could still go trick or treating now because I'm a midget and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
that's awesome.
Well, I mean, I'm
You could
5 foot tall,
say-
110
Yeah,
pounds,
but it's
maybe,
still
on a
awesome.
good day. But
Yeah, hi, I'm Amy. I'm 14. This is my last year trick or treating.
But the thing is, I mean, if these kids are out there trick or treating and going around asking for candy, doing what they're supposed to, trick or treat, they put this time and effort into their costumes. Give them a friggin' piece of candy. Why not? Why do you want to sit there and be a dick to these kids? Because I mean, these kids could be out there doing anything else. They're
calling the cops.
No, the thing is, these kids, and here's the thing: these kids are still trying to be kids. Let them be kids as long as they want to be kids. Because being an adult fucking sucks. So let these kids.
Tell me about it.
If they want to be 18 years old and still want to go around and trick or treat and act like a kid or go out with their little brother, little sister, whatever, give them some candy. But don't be a fucking dick to them. These are kids being kids. They're not out there smashing pumpkins. I
see it this way, Amy, and you're right.
It on my face to see the kind of shit that I have to bitch about. So I mean, if an 18-year-old, shit, a 25-year-old, they want to come, dressed up with their kids and everything else, I'm gonna give them a damn Reese's cup. Here's your Reese's. Here's your Almond Joy. Whatever you want, But I mean, go out there, have a good time, and be safe, and don't do the rest of the shit that everybody else in Baltimore is doing.
Hey, Amy,
anywhere else.
Amy,
Chris, go ahead.
I can actually see it. I can actually see your point because, if you're 18, you're still trick or treating. It's better than you 18, you're trick or treating than knocking off some 12-year-old for his candy.
Right.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I mean, if you're 18 years old and you're trick or treating, you're probably taking your little brother and sister. But I mean, like I said, if you're 18 years old and you're trick or treating,
that's awesome, dude.
You care more about candy than you care about booze or drugs. So I mean, well, I mean, like I said,
well, if you're 18 and you're out there trick or treating, you care about more than just that.
Dude, I will go trick or treating. Cool. I went trick or treating when I was like 25 years old. I went to this house and I had a beer mug, and I was like, they were having a party, and I was all trick or beer. And then 5 minutes later, I was in there drinking beer, playing foosball with them. Okay, so trick or treating is for people of all ages. I don't care if you're 40,
it is.
If you're 50, you could go out there and ask for like Coke, dude. And you know what? It's in the spirit of the holiday.
Trick or Coke. Trick or Coke.
Trick or shrooms.
Trick or heroin. Trick or heroin.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to keep my wonderful pagan holiday.
You want to buy some
weed? Trick or weed.
No.
You guys want to buy some weed?
Y'all want to hit? Y'all want to hit?
No, somebody better be. If I'm going trick or treating, somebody better give me a bottle of like some of that Christmas stout.
You're a Christmas stout bottle. You are.
No, I have. Look, I have two major holidays a year. I have my spring holiday and my fall holiday. And I mean.
Dude, I'm gonna email South Park.
I like for my kids to be able to to go out and do their thing, and I like for me to do like their Americanized version of like my pagan holidays or whatever. But I mean, I still have my own little thing going on, and I don't like it to be adulterated by all of the other. No, I don't want any drugs and stuff like that.
Well, dude, like
my holidays.
I think someday we should all be South Park characters. We should all be different South Park characters, all of us.
If somebody does the Beer and Bullshit Show, as South Park characters,
I think we should
probably be one of the most.
I'll be Chef. I'll be Chef.
Okay, I want to be Towley.
I got a feeling I'd be Kenny.
Kenny. They killed Kenny.
You guys just kill me off every episode.
You guys want to get high, man?
They'll be like, football. There goes the weird pagan girl.
Christmas holiday version.
Then,
you're gonna be like Charlie Brown in the version.
Who's gonna be
like, bless her heart.
Who's gonna be Tweak? We need somebody to be Tweak.
Scott.
Nah.
Now Scott's got to be Stan. I think Scott is going to be Stan. Does that sound right?
No, Chris has got to be Stan.
No, I'm Chef.
Yeah, he's Chef.
Why? Because you're black?
That's right.
Oh my god.
That's because we're going to be like, hey, Chef, where is the clitoris? Can you help us find it?
Jesus Christ.
Hey, baby, I'm gonna love you now. I'm gonna love you till the sun comes up.
Chris is gonna lead us out of the clitoris. Bless his heart.
And when you get there, you're gonna vibrate around in a circle.
Oh God. You know we're all going to hell for this, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not. You are. I'm not.
He was like, I'm just leading you on the path, and what you do when you get there is a different story.
I'm just trying to save you from there, but you all just keep moving right by me, and I'm like, all right, shit. Y'all got free will, so y'all got free will. So I can't tell you what to do.
When you get there, I mean, it's kind of like Disney. I mean, once you get there, it's a fun ride.
No. Once you get there, once you get to hell, and if you get there, say hi to Satan for me, okay? But once you get there, there's always going to be a Walmart. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
there's going to be a Walmart.
Yeah.
Chris,
there's a Walmart in hell.
Chris,
okay.
Stop it, Chris. Stop.
You know there is.
You already know how I feel.
Oh, I know there is. I worked for Satan at one time. No more.
I can't do it, Chris.
He was like, I was saved.
Chris, please do not banish me to the Walmart, please.
Yeah,
banish me to the Walmart.
Yep.
I can't take it. I can't handle it.
Well,
it's even worse in my experience because almost every single time that I go into a Walmart, dude, I swear to God, somebody's in there with like massive diarrhea in the bathroom because everybody's sitting there screaming.
Dude. Seriously, Scott, until you go to Walmart in Southwest Baltimore, I don't want to hear jack nor shit from you. You have not seen the things that I have seen.
Orlando.
I'm pretty sure that that it is that bad, and I'm pretty sure that I've seen pictures from there.
Oh, good Lord, you boy.
I mean, I've never seen like I've seen some of those pictures from Walmart. And it's just like, it's insane because of the fact that you got these like elderly women that are like 400 pounds with back boobs, and they decide to wear like their strap-on bras that are like crisscrossed in the back, so they got back boobs hanging out, and they decide to wear like fleshy like yoga pants, so it looks like that they're half naked.
No, the only thing worse is front butt.
They get in fist fights with the greeters on the way out. I mean, you got
with the greeters.
Back. Yes, you got fat titties flying everywhere, and then you go and you try to pull out of the parking lot, and you've got a heroin zombie falling across the front of your vehicle because she's so high she can't walk through the parking lot and doesn't know where she's at. I mean, don't even get me started on Baltimore.
Wait a minute.
Unless you live here, you don't know. Okay.
Wait a minute. How do you get back boobies?
Back titties? That's the thing. You're fucking fat. It means it's way too many fucking Cheetos. It means you need to have a bra on your titties, and you need to have a bra on your back. And you need to lay off fucking Cheetos and fucking bacon. It means
Nah, I can't lay off
you
the
know,
bacon,
diet.
but yeah, the Cheetos can go.
Okay, well, nobody ever needs to lay off the bacon. I guess I was wrong.
You're right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was inappropriate. And I
Yeah.
apologize.
I think you should. I think you should apologize right here on the Beer and Bullshit Show. Okay, so our viewers will
Everyone
know
deserves
that you're not a bacon hater.
I am not a bacon hater.
We have
Everyone
we
deserves bacon.
we probably
I'm
have a
sorry.
couple of bacon tours that like are like connoisseurs to bacon around here.
Even my dear Muslim friends, I wish bacon upon you. And trust
Yeah.
me,
Oh God.
when you
Yes.
try it, it will change your life.
Yes, and it's not like
Swear
goats.
to God. Swear to God. Muhammad.
How do you
Bacon
know
is
it's
good shit.
How do you know it's not like goats, Scott?
And then take bacon
I've been told.
Take bacon and put it on mac and cheese. Take bacon and put it on a sandwich. Take bacon and put it on a baked potato. Take bacon and put it on Brussels sprouts.
I like to take
and put
bacon.
it on peanuts.
I like to take bacon and put it.
And just
I like
Really? I mean,
because it's
that
bacon.
last example right there was like kind of awesome. So I mean,
Yeah, I like bacon.
And we all
wrap
and we
that
all
hot
know
dog up in bacon, dude, and it's awesome.
we all know what
Don't knock it till you try it.
and we all know what Rick does
Well,
with this
I don't
bacon.
think I'm gonna try that, but
we all know what Rick does with this bacon.
It ain't what he does.
Oh
Chris,
man!
damn.
Oh shit!
Hey, somebody's got to get lucky around here every now and then.
Hey, you know what? It's probably time to start the after show here pretty soon.
all I could see was when soon as Chris said that was the part in Friday where the old man come out and was like, "Don't be walking on my lawn," and Debo was like, "You want some old punk?" And he was like, "No."
I missed you guys. I just want you. I want you all seriously to know that. I mean, I really miss sitting around bullshitting with you guys. You guys are freaking funny. You guys are sometimes some of it was fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. My kids, everything else is kind of fun during the week. You guys are like my break, you know. And you guys are blessed. I love hanging out with you guys. Even if it's
awesome.
just like this stupid online shit. But not that it's stupid online shit, but it'd be even way cooler if we could like sit around a card table, you know.
Yeah. Play Cards Against Humanity.
Well, that and actually taste each other's beers, you know, as we're sitting here being like, my beer's awesome, your beer's awesome, you know, whatever. It'd be cool, you know. But
well, especially if you brought beers from your own like neck of the woods, and especially from your own town or from your own state. I mean, that would be kind of cool because of the fact that you can. Okay. Number one, you're tasting something that you're not getting.
That's it, dude. I am emailing South Park, and I'm telling them that we are going to be guests on the show. They're going to create characters after us so that we can hang out, and I'm going to have them watch our show because we watch their show, and they'll be happy to watch our show, and South Park is going to have us. They're going to make characters after us, and they're going to make a show on South Park. The Beer and Bullshit show is going to South Park, and we're going to find the clitoris. Chris is going to help us.
Chris is going to help us find the clitoris.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that right, Chris? You told us, man.
Sure. One of us has to find it because knowing you, Shane, it's been a while since you found one.
Still working on that shaft, aren't you?
Well, I still don't have any other children or sexually transmitted diseases, so that's something.
Well, then that's a plus.
Well, not, you know, it'd be cool to have more kids, but not sexually transmitted diseases.
I was gonna say, wait a minute. He's like, it would be a plus to have more, but I'm like, dude, it's not a lollipop.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I've just been out here trying to find the clitoris, and I can't find it.
That's what they say, man. Not as useless as a dick-flavored lollipop.
Oh, God. I swear to God, I can't even tell you how much you guys fucking crack me up.
If women watched this show, I would have a girlfriend by now, guys. Okay, so you need to invite your ladies.
Yeah, you know that you ain't getting viewed.
You know that would have already happened. There'd be some craft beer girl that would be like, hey,
nah, dude, you're about to get that like rich, like 90-year-old woman calling you.
No, there would be a young.
I really like that Shane guy on the Beer Bullshit show. He's a winner. I want
Okay. It would be
he can
young.
help me out with my cataracts.
No, you guys.
Hookers, if you want one.
Oh no.
Shane don't need a hooker. All right.
No. Especially coming from Baltimore, they got so many things that it's just like.
It would be a young, beautiful lady, and she would.
No,
be
wouldn't
like,
it be a crab-infested hooker?
No,
yeah.
not a hooker. Not a hooker. If it's going to be anybody, it's going to be a young, beautiful lady, and she'll be like, "Hey, big boy, hey." You know,
knowing her.
Oh my God!
Knowing her,
that's right there sounds like an Anthony Weiner comment.
That drinks like Busch Light or something.
Yeah, you got some wishful thinking there, Shane.
Fuck you guys.
Man, that sounds more like molten triple X.
With no teeth.
You're cute. You're cute for an old man, but you ain't that cute. I mean, don't. I mean, I just dream. Okay, I'm sorry.
You guys want to get
dream
high,
big.
man?
Dream big, man. Dream big, Shane. Dream big.
He has to dream big. Dream big.
Dream big.
I'm gonna go for Somalia. I'm gonna get a girl from Somalia. Yep. Yeah.
Oh dear God.
She's gonna be a pirate.
Wow.
Pirate girl.
Wow.
She's gonna.
Wow.
Hey Shane, are we still moving to Mogadishu and creating our own craft beer?
I think that would be cool. We could make a mango craft beer in Mogadishu,
man. Could you imagine? All right, hold on. Hold on. You guys hold this thought for a second. Imagine what it would be, a Mogadishu craft beer. Think about back to
pirates.
Somalia.
Pirates.
No. Shut your mouth. Think back to 1993. All right. Mogadishu. The men, where they were chewing the it wasn't tobacco, but it was something that had like cocaine in it that would make them more aggravated towards the end of the day. Anyway, it was one of the plants. I don't remember what the name of it was, but it was basically the same as cocaine. So let's take Mogadishu and make a beer with cocaine, and then let's just kill everyone in town. And you guys have no idea what I'm talking about either, do you?
This kind of sounds like Nirvana.
No, it was do you remember when 101st Airborne Division went in there with Delta and the Nighthawks in I want to say it was late July, August '93.
No.
But they would
Rick and the wrong boots, girl.
No, come on. The Somalis the Somalis used to chew on something. Shit, don't make me look it up. What the fuck was it called? They used to chew on something. It was a stimulant. They would chew on it after work in the afternoon. And but it had a very similar effect to cocaine. What was that fucking movie? Mark Bowden. Come on, you guys know. Black Hawk Down.
Clueless. Oh, okay. Got it.
I was stationed with 101st when it happened. Shit, what was this shit called? Come on, you guys can look this shit up fast. But anyway, No, if they made beer with that
We
shit,
know,
we'd
we
be awake
know,
all night. We'd be
we
awake all
know
weekend.
nothing. We know nothing. We know nothing. We don't know shit.
I don't know anything, dude. I am just like, stop this shit, like the wars, and quit blowing people up.
All I know is that if I were to build a microbrewery in Mogadishu, it's gonna be called Pirate Brewing Company.
Sorry.
Yes, pirates.
It's called CAT. It's KHAT.
We want to honor the
it's
industrialism.
It's an herbal stimulant that's illegal in the United States.
Okay. That's why Amazon's not so big in Somalia.
That's true.
Oh, there's one place that Amazon hasn't taken over yet.
How the hell did I know this stuff and you guys don't? I'm a girl.
Because we're not status war pigs.
I will stab you in the neck. Against my non-aggression. I got out of the army in 1997, boys. I don't even want to hear your shit. And I will still fight you. And I will probably win.
Oh shit, man.
For what it's worth, you'd probably like it.
Hell yeah, I'd like it. That'd be dope.
No, that's just exactly what you're smoking.
This shit's called lavender.
That is a horrible name. That is a horrible name.
She's in love with Mary Jane. He's his main thing. She makes him.
I can hear that Bone Thugs and Harmony song right now. The Bone Thugs and Harmony. Higher, baby.
You guys need to chill the fuck out, man.
I am. I am going into a Stephen Points Brewing Company, the Whole Hog Pumpkin Ale. Top-rated pumpkin pie beer of 2017 and 2018.
Holy shit.
That's what I'll think.
That was craft. That was a craft burp. Congratulations.
A craft burp. That's right.
Beer.
It was very eloquent.
You need beer snob, but appreciate that.
Like, ooh, he just did a very eloquent burp.
Oh.
It's a craft beer burp.
God, dude, I love this stuff.
This Russell Kelly Pale Ale is dope, dude. It's so good. I think it's seasonal.
Pumpkin pie in a glass, man. That's awesome.
I would try it. I don't know. I've had so many pumpkin beers that were not getting me lit. You know, not my thing. But if you recommend it, I believe it, man.
7% alcohol, and it's just like a pumpkin pie in a glass. I mean, it's nice and sweet, like you're getting the icing on top, the whipped cream on top of your pumpkin pie. You can actually taste a little bit of like cinnamon and almost like kind of like that graham cracker crust at the bottom of your pumpkin pie. So I mean, it's like
about with our sweet potatoes.
Yeah, right.
You know what else is a really good pumpkin pie beer or whatever is the O'Fallon pumpkin ale, pumpkin beer or whatever.
That one's not too bad. I rather think that one's overly sweet. This one kind of mellows that out. So okay. I mean, it's almost like that one. If you like sweeter beers, if you like sweeter candy and stuff like that, then that would be more for your style. But if you like an actual like, how would I say this? Like, even when you drink this beer, it kind of leaves your palate a little dry. Kind of like I think that's because of the spices. So therefore, it's just like you keep going in for another bite of your pumpkin pie when you drink.
Interesting.
Because I mean, if you have an actual decent, well-made piece of pumpkin pie, it actually is rather dry. It'll leave your mouth a little dry. So therefore, it's not as moist, even though that it is, because of the fact when you're slicing through the pumpkin itself is rather moist. But it's like
I have to disagree. A good pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
See.
Oh yeah.
I'm on Amy's side on this one. A good pumpkin pie is nice and wet.
This is where Chef comes back in and was like, "You're on the right path."
Yeah, it was like 5 minutes ago, bro.
Chris is just like blank on it. He's like, "Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna roll with it."
That was a while ago.
He's like, they're
man.
talking about.
There it is. He's like, thumbs up, dude.
You guys want to get
That was so 5 minutes
being moist.
So
he's like, "Yep."
He's like, I'm just gonna sit over here and shut up.
I do like
and
some
just
dank.
Watch you guys go at
some dank pumpkin pie with some fluffy whip on top.
Some dank moist pumpkin pie. Don't forget.
Oh God, yes.
It's gotta be moist.
Dank
yes, it does.
It's like the same thing twice. So yeah. Dank and moist. So maybe there's like a difference between the pumpkin layer and the crust.
He's just
layer.
like, he's just like, hurry up and get to the whipped cream already.
No. Amy would be saying that. Amy would be saying that. Hurry up and get to the whipped cream.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you want to get to, you know. No, not me, dude.
That would be Amy.
Yeah.
Now real
whipped cream.
Yeah, you know.
That's what springs Chris back to life.
I don't want any whipped. I don't want any of that. I dispense though. I'm like the dispenser of whipped cream.
Have you guys had?
Oh, kind of like the fake spray on stuff.
The
shoot on
whipped cream
and the
bottle. Hershey's.
You gotta shake it really good. You gotta really shake it.
Holy Jesus, mother God! Let me tell you what. You put that in your coffee with a little bit of rum, and I tell you what, you don't found God by noon.
Look, he's laughing so hard. He was like, "Yep, that made me cry a little bit." He was like, "That was funny."
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake it, Amy.
I can't even.
She's like, I got nothing on this right now.
That's really odd.
I just gotta go with it, you know. I'm just gonna go with it.
That's what they all say.
Uh-huh.
You guys are gonna give me shit, and I'm gonna take it. You know, and that's pretty much just the way it is.
Wow, there it is. She said it.
They like the texture and the health benefits more than the flavor. Okay.
No, this is not the FDA. We're just not going to go there.
I was gonna say you guys really don't want my opinion on that because
make you live a long time.
No,
especially
I don't know.
Not on the show. Not on the show.
No.
I'll have to end it right here.
Chris will have to take us off live.
You live extra
Chris is
long
like,
time.
no, damn it, no, not this again.
You live extra long time, okay?
I'm surprised. I'm surprised with all the shit Google's doing with YouTube or whatever, banning people off of YouTube and shit. We haven't been banned yet.
Oh yeah, no, we're mild compared to what's on there.
Dude, South Park wants to get banned. Okay, they're trying to get canceled and banned.
Oh yeah, they have been.
Yeah, I know, and it's so cool, and I think that's like the most honorable position to take. I think it's most honorable.
I think that they've been trying it ever since they made Mr. Hanky.
Hanky, the Christmas poo. He loves me and I love you.
See? I mean, what's more ironic? I mean, yeah, you can kill somebody every episode, but a floating Christmas turd, really?
Gotta love it.
And only to
No,
say
really,
I went
you
to,
don't.
and only to say I went to school with one of those guys.
They made Saddam Hussein into a Canadian.
Yes.
Oh, that was so fucking funny.
That's genius.
Anyways, I just realized it's 11:45, which I know means it sounds like I'm old, but really I'm not.
old.
But I gotta get my kids up early in the morning.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty much that time.
So
Yeah.
I can't get too tipsy.
Yeah, you could.
I'm tipsy enough. No, I'm.
Yeah, you could.
We know.
Stumble up and stumble upstairs and wake your man up. Say, Rick, Rick,
No.
get up.
Let's not. We don't have to get into detail, but we know.
Christopher, do you really think I'm not going to do that anyways?
No,
I don't know what you do. That's your own business. But hey, have fun doing what you do.
If you only knew, you'd like me a whole lot more than you do now.
Have some for me, okay?
But no, I got
right.
Okay, well, I hope you.
I can't go to bed too drunk. I gotta get to bed at like some decent sort of hour. At 11, kind of a late hour.
Get off my damn keyboard! What the hell is wrong with you?
This is how I realize.
I'm gonna go.
I'm old.
I'm gonna go look for the.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Horse shit.
Let me explain something to you. Hey,
horse
let
shit.
me explain something to you assholes. I am in the latest time zone. You guys are all like,
no, because Shane's an hour behind me.
You guys.
And you're in the same time zone I am.
Like,
you're in the same time zone as
I don't want to hear shit.
That
we
means
we repping 3 different time zones, girl. Repping 3 different time zones: Mountain, Central, and Eastern.
Does that?
How many other shows do you know that's repping 3 different time zones? That's not Fox News.
Yo, Chris, does that mean that?
I'm the one who's got to be up at the ass crack of dawn in the morning while you motherfuckers are still sleeping.
That means
I gotta be up at 5:30 in the morning.
What? I'm up at 6 anyway. I gotta get ready for work.
Your 5:30 in the morning is my 6:30 in the morning, and I've already been up and gotten late probably twice by the time. Oh, sorry.
All right.
What?
I gotta get up at 6 o'clock anyway, and I gotta get ready for work. So
cut her off.
I'm gonna go, Amy. Have a good night. I'm gonna go to Wikipedia and see if I can find the clitoris there.
I figured that was coming.
All right.
Have a good night. Let me know if you find it.
I'm gonna go be a nice little Christian girl. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There it is. Look at the bug eyes.
I didn't do it.
It's anywho.
All right. I love you, jerks. I'll see you next time.
Yeah.
It's nice harassing you. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good night. Don't forget to bring a towel in case you get wet.
Oh my God.